Welcome back to this week's episode of Anglicans in Action. Did you know that November is National Adoption Awareness Month? Here at Anglicans for Life, we think it is also a great time for the church to celebrate the blessing and importance of adoption in our Christian heritage. After all, we are all adopted into God's forever family, as Paul reminds us in Romans chapter 8, verses 14 through 16. For all who are led by the Spirit of God are sons of God. For you did not receive the spirit of slavery to fall back into fear, but you have received the spirit of adoption as sons and daughters, by whom we cry, Abba, Father. The Spirit himself bears witness with our spirit that we are children of God. So just as we celebrate our adoption, we are asking the church to celebrate and honor earthly adoption. Here are a few different ways to feature adoption at your church. 1. Invite a family who has adopted a child or children to share their testimony during your church service or in writing for your parish newsletter. The same could also be done for a birth mother or birth father. 2. Include a special prayer in your litany of prayers for all who have been touched by adoption, specifically thanking God for the courage of everyone involved in an adoption for affirming the gift of life. You can also use the Thanksgiving for the Adoption of a Child litany in the Book of Common Prayer found on page 439. The ACNA also has a litany available for use. Idea number 3. Read our blogs in November that will be centered around adoption, and then share them with others on your social media. Idea 4. Order and display brochures that explain the various types of adoption available, or ask someone from a local adoption agency to speak during your adult Sunday school hour. Idea 5. Send a card to a birth mother or father honoring their sacrifice to place their child with an adoptive family. Be ready to give comfort and support on their children's birthdays, when birth parents may feel loneliness and doubt. And finally, number 6, offer to babysit for parents of adoptive children with special needs so they can have an evening out. Shining a light on the good that can come from adoption is a great way to prevent abortion. We never know when there will be somebody contemplating an abortion sitting in our congregations. Would an adoption testimony help them recognize the value of adoption over abortion? Out of curiosity, I Googled famous people who were adopted. Imagine our world without the contributions of Nelson Mandela, Maya Angelou, John Lennon, Babe Ruth, Steve Jobs, or Eleanor Roosevelt, to name but a few. Every life touches so many others. And when we abort a baby, we abort lifelong connections. Oh, church, please celebrate adoption, yours and others. For Anglicans in Action, I'm Deacon Georgette Forney. See you next week.